peace to Chuck Norris. I remember when I was a kid, I went to the drive-in with my parents and my brother, and we went to see this film called Lone Wolf McQuade. I didn't know who Chuck Norris was. I just saw this dude just using karate to kick everybody's ass. It's like, oh my God, I love this guy. Because at that point, I think USA Network was showing like a bunch of martial arts films. So that was like in my wheelhouse. And then Chuck Norris made films like Delta Force. Like, Chuck Norris is fantastic. And I think when it comes to those 80s action films, immediately people go to Sylvester Stallone because of Rambo and Rocky. And they go to Arnold Schwarzenegger with like Commando and Predator and those films. And they talk about Van Damme and Seagal and Bruce Willis. But we kind of forget about Chuck Norris. Like, Chuck Norris was one of the first dudes to have those movies where one dude can go into some town and kick everybody's behind. It kind of leaned towards, he was kind of like a mixture of like the Clint Eastwood spaghetti Western type deals where one man could take on a whole town, and combine that with Bruce Lee. And Chuck Norris was in the 1972 Bruce Lee film, Way of the Dragon. Now, Chuck Norris was a martial artist. He studied martial arts. And if those guys in the 80s, the only other guys who was like that was like Van Damme, because I think Van Damme was a martial artist and a kickboxer, and Steven Seagal, even though I debate his martial arts skills, like doing shout out to Steven Seagal. But yeah, Chuck Norris, he was in Bruce Lee's Way of the Dragon. And I think Bruce Lee, in a lot of ways, man, like he kind of, to me, was the forefather of these 80s action films, right? Well, Clint Eastwood with spaghetti westerns was just a straight up western shot in Italy. But those were more westerns. The Bruce Lee films was just one guy using martial arts to take out everybody. And Chuck Norris, he took that formula after Bruce Lee died, and he made a string of hit films. So shout out to Chuck Norris. And then when the film career kind of waned down, he went to TV. And let's be honest, like back then, a film star going to TV was not common. Usually, if you went back to TV, your career was over. You end up being on Fantasy Island and The Love Boat, or a special guest appearance on the A-Team. But Chuck Norris, he created Walker, Texas Ranger. I wasn't a big fan of that show. I didn't watch it too much. It wasn't a bad show. I just didn't watch it. But people loved it, man. It was on for 8 years. Yeah, I would see him from time to time. Like, I look, hey, let me see what Chuck Norris doing. And he's kicking everybody's ass. It's like, yeah, go get him, Chuck. But that show lasted for a long time, still in syndication. And again, that was a time when film stars didn't go on TV. I mean, he was like almost like the forebearer of that. Because once we get to The Sopranos, when the prestige TV era started, then we started seeing more people from film going on TV because the writing got so much better. Like back in the 90s, there's no way a Woody Harrelson and a Matthew McConaughey would have done True Detective. Not back in the 90s, and maybe not even in the early 2000s at first. But man, once we get to 2010s, we get True Detective of Matthew and Woody. I guess the only guy I can think of after that, maybe with the first guy, maybe it was probably Kiefer Sutherland. So maybe Kiefer Sutherland going from film to TV with 24. Maybe he was the beginning of that, come to think about it. So it might be Kiefer who kind of really opened the door after a while for like actors who was like really successful in film, go on TV and making like really great TV. So maybe it's Kiefer Sutherland. But that door was opened by Chuck Norris. So rest in peace, Chuck Norris. I'm sure if there was like a fight back then with all those dudes in the 80s between Seagal, Van Damme, Schwarzenegger, and Stallone, I think Chuck Norris might beat him. Like Sly is cool, but I don't know he's much. I mean, he boxes, but and Schwarzenegger, he just lift weights. Seagal, I don't trust his skills that much. The only other person I think that might be able to beat Chuck Norris outside of Bruce Lee is probably Jean-Claude Van Damme. He's the only one. But that Chuck Norris was tough, man. He was a tough dude with his boots and his cowboy hat. Rest in peace, Chuck Norris. Thanks to my parents for taking me to the drive-in to see Lone Wolf McQuade. If you got a drive-in in your area, go check them out, man. Drive-ins are nice. They're a little bit expensive these days, but check out a nice drive-in movie. And tell me, what is your favorite Chuck Norris project? Rest in peace, sir.